Welcome to the Whoa podcast on horses and horsemanship. I'm your host, John Harrer. Thanks for finding our podcast all about horses. I've owned Jessie for 7 years now. I've ridden her in the Snaffle almost exclusively. I haven't really thought about changing until recently. When I had an opportunity to visit Tommy Thompson, a cutting reined cowhorse trainer for a podcast, he asked what I wanted to do. Knowing I'm not alone in dealing with this problem, I asked if he could help. Here's what he told me.
Well, I'm going to go in and take everything that you're already doing and tell you that it's not the right way. I do not do it that style at all. I have, and the reason that I don't do it anymore is it doesn't work very good. I'm in this apparatus here, which is spade bit and a bosalita.
It's the beautiful thing about horses and horsemanship. Even if you don't have the knowledge and experience to go through the full, rigorous process of the hackamore, you can still get the job done and learn something along the way. Tommy then showed me the first of 4 exercises to help me get a better handle on Jessie.
Yeah, first of all, we need to think about the mechanics of what it takes to make a turn on a horse. So from the time I walk in, start a baby, I've got the halter in my hand and I've got, say a flag in my other hand or a little stock whip I can, bump them around with. I'm going to start from the very first moment that I work the horse. I'm on their back and I've got a leg here. I'm going to teach them to walk forward, placing their inside hind foot up underneath their middle section. And at the same time, I want them to put their outside front foot in front of their inside front foot. So they're moving using all 4 feet equal, where there's equal weight on all 4 feet, and they're all driving forward. One thing I'll suggest when you're doing this, especially when you're green, Landon just asked me yesterday, what is the highway cone doing back there? I don't use them anymore, but when you're a little novice at this, get you something. I don't care if you throw your ball cap out on the ground. That is the center of your circle. Pick a hoof print in the ground, pick a clod, and make sure that you are working on an equal radius to that spot all the time, so that we get over that just meandering around. Because the step's only a correct step if it's exactly on the square inch you want it to be. If it's 6 inches over, it's not a correct step.
The order of cues was a real challenge. I was really struggling with trying to micromanage my horse. One of the purposes of these exercises is to get Jessie to take responsibility of what's being asked and then being allowed to do it.
Your neck rein first. Neck rein. Inside leg, right leg, then foot. Allow your horse to mess up. You're trying to keep it to where your horse don't mess up. Right. You and I and your sorrel horse all together only learn from our mistakes. Neck rein him, let him look the wrong way. Use your right leg, let him go the wrong way. Then with your right rein, set it up and fix it. Everybody wants to lope a lot of circles, and a circle's only as good as how specific we are while we're on that circle. So when I'm building a horse, whether it be to be two-handed, one-handed, of course, guide is everything. Will they stay on the size circle I want, in the position I want? And that is the most important thing I'm going to say, in the position I want. I watch people lope circles, and they start over here, and they end up somewhere way over here, and they haven't even noticed that. So none of these circles were correct, no matter how round they were, because you wanted to lope them there. So that's how specific we are is very important. So in this particular arena, this arena is very simple to itself. In other words, if we divide it in half, this half's almost a perfect square, and that half is almost a perfect square. It's really easy for me to teach this. I divide the arena into 2 sides. Very dead center I call home plate. Then over here at the first quarter of a circle is first base. Half circle is second base. Third base, home plate. If I was riding this circle, my horse wants to lean out, don't want to stay on the circle. Sharing 90 degrees, right across the center of my circle. Pick my circle up over here, and back on my circle. At any point he was to fall out of that circle, I'm just going to steer him, make him go straight. Horse that wants to fall in on the circle. We want to get that inside leg and hold him out. No, I'm burning up my tools that I shouldn't be having to use. I'm just going to roll them back to the outside, either way or do a 360 and lope off again. work on that. This does not have to be a fancy rollback. They don't even have to know how to stop. I'm just going to pull them to the outside. I want them to think I'm a little crazy, and maybe they better take care of themselves because the guy on his back doesn't know what he's doing.
And you can see it's my turn. You can hear the challenges I have doing a circle.
Good,
a simple
John.
circle.
Good job.
You think it would be easy.
Are you babysitting a little there?
A little bit. It's hard not to.
Right to the direct rein, and that's not going to be teaching her to get in the bridle. Lay the neck rein first, then shape her body and make her get there. Okay, neck rein when she's not looking, neck rein, inside leg, inside rein. Make her look. You gotta make your inside rein be a little bit ornery with them, for lack of a better way to put it, because it's gotta be the bad guy. Okay. Neck rein, inside leg. Now, just so you know, I'm going to look for any opportunity to steer and go straight across the middle, because that's where I get to work on moving them horses' shoulders and truly get them steering and guiding. Loping a circle isn't necessarily working on the guide because you put them there and leave them alone. So I'm looking for any opportunity to put a 90-degree corner and ride them across the middle. So I just roll back to the left and go the other way. Ask with your neck rein first. You're trying to build a bridle horse. Right to the direct rein, and that's not going to be teaching her to get in the bridle. Lay the neck rein first, then shape her body and make her get there. You're tight when you do it. Now remember, if your horse, good job, that was the right decision.
I still didn't use that rein.
Yeah, but you had the right training concept though. I'm going to leave you be on only being wrong on half.
We have bending, we have serpentine, and we have circle.
Straight lines, the most important one.
Straight line.
Straight line.
Okay, what?
Straight line, we're going to do exactly the same thing as we did on the circle. They lean left, we're going to turn right. They lean right, we're going to turn left. I do a drill that's called a daisy. If I was to pick a spot dead center of this arena, from no matter where I'm at in the arena, I'm going to ride a straight line through dead center. I'm going to ride it as far as I can ride it. If I'm on the left lead, I'm going to turn left, right lead, turn right. I'm going to arc around tight, get dead center again, go as far as I can. And if you draw it out on a sheet of paper or watch me long enough, you'll see it looks like petals, and that's why I call it a daisy. The only thing that I have to say on this is if you watch me do it, it won't look like petals of a flower at all, because if I was on that left lead going to turn left and I approach the end of the arena and they lean left, I'm going to counter and turn right. Or if partway down a pedal they lean left, I'm going to turn right. So you'll get lost on it. It's only the perfect deal where it looks like a daisy. So that, how I ride the circle, the little serpentines, and the daisy, you'd be amazed if those were the only things you knew how broke you can get a horse. So what makes the steering across the circle or the daisy or any of that work is not the drill in and of itself. It's that you have a guideline in your mind asking, will you stay where I put you? If they don't, then you fix it. It's not staying on the drill. It's that you have a framework going, I'm putting you here, you're going to stay. No? Okay, we're doing the opposite. Are the nuts and bolts of my program. Guide. Forward motion, and them horses learning to guide. And by guide meaning, when I shape their body, whether it be an arc, a straight line, they go until I shape their body. Go on their own, without me holding, directing, keeping them happy, leaving them be. That's key, leave them alone.
If you haven't taken a one-on-one lesson with a professional, I highly recommend it. I've done several, and I can tell you this for certain. You will not retain everything they tell you. But some of the guidance they give you will come back a month, 6 months, even a year down the road when you may be struggling or asking your horse a more complicated question. Horse knowledge builds on experience. If you can get some from a trainer with some, well, that can only be a good thing for you and your horse.
I come out here every day asking the horse what we need to work on. I'll start working. I'll start asking the most remedial things for that horse where we're at. And if he just does it, I'll leave it till you go the next thing. I'm looking for where we need to work that day. As soon as they tell us where we need to work, that's where we work that day. You know, I have enough experience. I know where we've got to get to. And when you're a green rider or green at building these guys, sometimes that's very unclear.
If you're having problems with your horse, contact a professional trainer. If you want to learn more about
Tommy Thompson, rein cow, horse, and cutting trainer. I will ride any horse they pay their bill on. It don't matter. I ride rope horses, dressage horses, fix a lot of jumpers. Best way to contact me is on my telephone number, 661-496-8729, or they can text me on that number. And my email is cacowhorse, like California Cowhorse, @yahoo.com. Sounds good.
Thanks for doing this. We appreciate it.
No problem. I appreciate you asking.
Thanks to Tommy Thompson and the entire crew at California Cowhorses for their time, patience, hospitality, and expertise in filming and taping this episode of the Whoa Podcast. Look for the full audio podcast of our lesson with Tommy Thompson at whoapodcast.com. Thanks for supporting the Whoa Podcast. Until next time, for Renee, this is John Harrer saying, go have some fun with your horses.